Okay, so we're going to now look at how to replace a switch here. From time to time, the switches will fail to contact or in fact even stay on. Also, another reason you might want to replace your group switches is because the LEDs over long periods of time will start to fade. So if you want to brighten up your LEDs and make sure all the contacts are ready to work, you can replace that. You can actually do one head at a time, and you can actually do it with the machine on. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so we're just going to remove the cover here. There's just one screw. Remove that. Be careful where you put the screw, not to lose it, not to go down the sink. And then we'll disconnect our hot water switch. That's the little one on the side there. And we don't even need to turn the machine off. It's all low voltage. So we just remove it, and then we can take this to our workbench. Okay, so here we're going to remove and replace one of the switches for demonstration purposes. So we've got our cover off, and we just remove, careful not to cut any of the wires unnecessarily. We can reuse the wiring harness. We don't need to replace that. Slip in a little knife just to get rid of the heat shrink there. And then keep in mind it's not a bad idea even to photograph that. If you're not doing this every day, you might not be familiar how it all goes back together. So to grab a quick photo is always handy, I find. So we just undo the screws. Some of the earlier models were soldered into position. You can just cut them out and re-tin or pop the wires into the same position. Okay, so that's a number 19, and we simply hold our finger on the switch and undo that. So now we get our new switch and we pop that into position. With the positive and negative in the correct position, and we get some number 16 heat shrink. Place that on, ready to pull up to protect, and then we reconnect like for like. Now that we've done that, we pull the heat shrink up into position, tighten up the heat shrink, then we get our cable tie and fasten the wiring harness to the middle switch so that we can't accidentally pull any of those wires out of position. Okay, now that we've replaced that switch, we're going to reinstall it. Once again, we can do this with the machine on. I always do the hot water button first and then connect that way. Just gently pass all that through. Make sure that no cables are hanging out the side. Offer that nicely closed. Do the screw back up.